All week we're in Harrogate, where for centuries people flock to bathe in and at one time drink the mineral-rich waters of the thermal spring that runs under the town. The baths don't draw as many visitors now as in their heyday, but that's perhaps because we'd rather pick up our mineral bubble bath from the supermarkets and bathe in the privacy of our own bathrooms, along with endless brightly coloured liquids designed to wash, moisturise, tone and treat every part of our bodies. But before you get too relaxed in that hot bath, some reports say that the familiar products we use without thinking every day often contain a cocktail of chemicals that could be doing a lot more than simply cleaning and moisturising, and may even be dangerous. So we sent Steve Brown to see what really goes into all those bottles and tubes.
Gone are the days when bathrooms contained a bar of soap, a tube of toothpaste and a bottle of shampoo. Today the personal care business is worth billions, and on average we use a dozen or more different lotions and potions every day.
Cleanser, soap,
shower gel,
deodorant, perfume,
moisturiser,
body wash,
shampoo,
Yeah?
and toothpaste.
Yeah.
Not together, but you know.
Yeah, not together. Yeah, that'd be interesting.
But have you ever read the back of the bottles and found out what's actually in the products you're lathering all over your body? This lot obviously haven't.
aqua, sodium.
Hypopopylitreinium?
I don't have a clue.
Dear me. What is it all?
You don't know what it is, do you?
So aqua's water, sodium lauryl sulfate, is that the soap stuff?
Carbonate soda? Well, I bet carbonate soda, so that's the same.
Hydrochloric acid.
Acid?
Hydroxypromariturim.
That's it? There's nothing else on there I even recognise.
It's a baffling array of confusing names, and you might start to worry about what they'll do to you when you see reports like these. They say some of the chemicals in products we use every day could be very bad for us, irritating our skin, triggering allergies, disrupting hormones, or even causing cancer. There are reports that also worry Jordan Hamilton from Birmingham. After his skin had a bad reaction to moisturiser, he now avoids them all because he doesn't trust those long lists of ingredients.
So I was having several different issues with my skin, from rashes to dry skin. I don't use any off-the-shelf products anymore, so what I've got here is a homemade moisturiser that I've made here in my kitchen.
Yeah, that's right. Jordan is so concerned about buying moisturiser off the high street, he actually makes his own.
I'm just going to show you some of the ingredients that I use for these lotions. The first one is just water, and I've added a little bit of aloe vera.
So, is Jordan right to be so worried that he makes his own moisturiser?
Nice to see you, my friend.
You too as well.
Dr. Calliope Dodu from the University of Sunderland is a pharmacist and an expert in medicinal chemistry. She says any moisturiser sold in Britain is perfectly safe.
My question there is, if we need a degree to read the back of what we're putting on our face, how do we know if it's safe or not?
Everything is microbiologically tested, chemically tested for impurities, so everything is highly regulated, really.
Dr. Calliope is hoping to reassure us by showing us what goes into a typical high street moisturiser. The main ingredient is water.
So that's off the scales onto the heat now.
So we need to mix the water and the oil at the same temperature.
Then there are 13 others, including preservatives and perfumes to make it smell good.
This is a real chemistry lesson going on here. Jordan, are you surprised at some of the ingredients going in there?
Yeah, I'm definitely surprised. Like, none of them you actually know what they are at all.
But you're saying that all of these are essential to making the foundations of a moisturiser?
Yeah.
And here's the surprising part. The ingredients that went into the moisturiser may all sound like artificial chemicals, but they're not.
Which of these ingredients are natural and which ones are synthetic, Doctor?
All these are natural ingredients, all this here. EDTA is a synthetic, is like the antioxidant, and everything else is natural, including the fragrance.
For example, glycerin, which is often derived from soybeans, and ceteral, which comes from coconut oil. Out of the 14 ingredients in Dr. Kelly's moisturiser, just 2 are synthetic and make up less than 0.5% of the total amount.
Yeah, that's crazy, especially with all these names.
The
isn't it?
names, yeah, that's what threw me. You think that names like that, things that you need a degree to be able to understand, is a natural
Yeah, you'd thought they'd be created
ingredients.
in a lab.
Yeah.
Wow, that's surprising. I don't feel so bad now.
Definitely.
But while Dr. Kelly's certain there's nothing to worry about in the moisturiser, one of the 2 artificial ingredients is the one Jordan's most worried about, the paraben. Parabens have become the poster child for concerns about the cosmetics we use, and they're in a lot of products because they're such effective preservatives, meaning the products will last a long time. But Jordan doesn't know whether they're to be trusted.
I've read a lot of stories about parabens and that they're in a lot of products, and I've heard that they're potentially cancerous. Is that right?
There's a controversy around parabens. There are a few countries who've banned the use of parabens.
So does that mean they are dangerous then?
No, it doesn't mean they're dangerous. It's based on studies that have been done before, but there's nothing definite to suggest that they're toxic or that they're less safe than alternatives.
In 2014, the EU banned some parabens after concerns about their safety, and whilst others have been shown to disrupt hormones, which can increase the risk of developing breast cancer, that's only in extremely high doses, and there's no proof at all that parabens actually cause cancer.
At the end of the day, we use them in small concentrations, which are safe.
Parabens aren't the only everyday personal care product that's been linked to cancer. In 2017, Switzerland proposed a ban on all antiperspirants that contain aluminium salts because of the possible links to breast cancer. I grabbed a quiet chat with Dr. Kelly to drill down into that news.
A whole country banning antiperspirants.
So this was based on a study conducted in mice, and it found that using aluminium salts, it could be an increase in cancerous growths. However, a study in humans didn't have the same results. So more research is needed into that.
Studies have shown that skin absorbs aluminium, and the EU advises people not to use deodorants that contain some types of aluminium if their underarm skin is broken or irritated. But that's purely a cautious move because there's no proof of any direct link between aluminium and breast cancer.
So it's fair to say maybe more studies could be done on this.
Yes, that's correct.
And that's not just the opinion of someone who works with cosmetics every day, it's also the advice given by Cancer Research UK. Carl Alexander works on the team that produced guidance on cancer risk for the public, and in all the team's research, they found no good evidence linking any cosmetics to cancer. And despite what some reports say, that includes parabens.
Parabens are chemicals that are very similar to estrogen, which is a naturally occurring hormone in the human body. What we do know is that higher levels of estrogen can lead to an increased risk of certain cancers, but the levels of parabens that you find in the body are likely to be far outweighed by these naturally occurring hormones that already exist. So just because there are cosmetics that are labelled as parabens free, if you do find any on your shelves that do contain them, it's not something that you really should be worrying about.
The claims about cosmetics and cancer might be particularly scary, but they're among a seemingly endless stream of reports which use some very daunting language to describe what's inside everything from lip balm to shampoo.
So some of these headlines, you've got to admit, they're quite scary.
Yeah.
Are your beauty products toxic? Toxic?
Yes, it's a very strong headline. But going down the article and reading all this list of ingredients, then we realize that these are not chemicals that are used in everyday products. And then we have to look at the quantities where they're used.
So, although there might be different harmful chemicals in them, they're in very small quantities and they're there for job-specific reasons.
Yeah, exactly.
So while claims about toxic ingredients in our skincare might make a very grabby headline or a tempting web link, it turns out there's really nothing to worry about. And back in Birmingham,
This is a finished lotion.
Jordan's still happiest knowing exactly what goes into his own beauty products.
Now that feels great on my skin. and it feels even better knowing that I was the one that made it.